Namaste to all students. I am Dr. Pallavi Gupta here. As you know, I am teaching you election law. Under this election law, today I will take up the registration of political parties. For discussion on the registration of the political parties, I will discuss several subheadings like what are the requirements for the registration of political parties, what shall be the minimum strength of the member, what shall be the processing fee, the time limit to make a application, and what are the particulars which is required to furnish along with the application to the Election Commission of India, what shall be the manner of making application, the scrutiny and disposal of the application, whether the political parties which are registered can be deregistered, if yes, on what ground, whether political parties can get the fund from the other person, and how the transparency of the funding shall be maintained. So let us take the introduction first. So we can say that in a parliamentary form of the government, which our constitution adopted for the country, the existence of the political parties is inevitable. It is important. But in India, before the independence, there were political parties, although it was not defined. But the political parties were working for the freedom of the country. They were participating in election at central and provincial level. However, after the independence, constitution was silent altogether with regard to the existence up to 1985. When the 10th schedule was inserted in 1985, which recognized for the first time by the constitution indirectly the existence and functioning of the political parties. This 10th schedule is related to the anti-defection law. So we can say the political parties are now defined under Representation of People Act 1951 under section 29A, and this provision was inserted in this act in 1989 to give the effect the political party. So here the question comes, what is the meaning of political party? So under section 2 subclass 1 subclass F of RP Act 1951 says that political party means an association or a body of individual citizens which is registered with the Election Commission of India as a political party under section 29A. Now section 29A subclause 1 says that any association or body of individual citizen of India which calls itself a political party may apply for registration as a political party with the Election Commission of India. Other enactment like Income Tax Act 1961 also speak about political parties in the same manner as to mean association or bodies of individual citizens registered with the Election Commission as political parties. The new Encyclopedia Britannia also defines a political party as a group organized to achieve and exercise power within a political system. According to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, a political party is a group of people who come together to contest election and hold power in the government. They agree on policies and programs for the society with a view to promote the collective good or the further their supporters' interest. So, but the definition which is taken by the RP Act 1951 is that it is a body or association of individual citizens which call itself the political party, which have intention to get the benefit of the provision of RP Act. So, here if we see the evaluation of the political parties, so for the first time the political parties were registered under the election symbol reservation and allotment order 1968. So we can say for the first time registration of the political party uh, was done in 1968, August 1968. So and this order registered the new party as well as the other party which were existed which were in existence before the independence of the country, like National Congress, like these party were also registered. And these parties were registered under the para 3 of the election symbol reservation and allotment order 1968. In this order, the registration was made necessary to allocate the symbols. To allocate the symbols. So, this order continued to regulate the registration of political parties up to 1989, when the Parliament enacted the Amendment Act. A new part 4th A was inserted in the Representation of People Act 1951 in 1988, which come into force on 15th June 1989. And the new section 29A was enacted, containing the provisions for registration of the political parties. Under this new provision, political parties were required to register themselves with the Election Commission, not under the symbol orders, but under the section 29A. And under this statutory provision, it was made obligatory even for those political parties which were already registered under the symbol orders to get themselves registered afresh under the section 29A. So accordingly, the registration of political parties between 31st August 1968 and 15 June 1989 was done by the Election Commission under the symbol orders, and from 15 June 1989 onwards, all political parties are presently registered with the Election Commission under Section 29A of the RP Act 1951. So this is the general idea or introduction regarding the registration of political parties. Earlier, before 1968, there was no provision for the registration, but after that, the promulgation of the election symbol reservation and allotment order 1968, political parties were registered under this order till 1989, June 1989. After that, all the political parties are registered under the under section 29A with the Election Commission of India. So present law is that all the political parties shall be registered with the Election Commission under section 29A. So now, what are the requirements for the registration? The first and foremost requirement mentioned under section 29A is that the association or body which seeks registration as a political party should be comprised wholly of the citizen of India, means there should be no foreigner. Further, any association or body seeking registration should call itself a political party and intend to avail the provision of registration for the purpose of the RP Act 1951. That is to say, for the purpose of contesting election to parliament and state legislature, and not for any other purpose. It means any social or cultural organization or not registered under section 29A of the 1950 Act unless they call themselves as political parties and intend to contest election. So there are three requirements which are necessary to prove. Association of the body call itself political party, there should be citizen, and the intention is to avail the provision of RP Act. Now the question comes, what is the minimum strength of the political party? So as such, no law prescribe any minimum membership strength of the association or body seeking registration as a political party under section 29A. As a measure to check the registration of frivolous association, the Election Commission first started insisting that any association or body seeking registration must have at least 11 members who should be registered electors in any parliamentary or assembly constituencies. But this did not work well, and by that time the next general election took place in 1998. The number of political parties on the register of the commission went up to the 657. So we can say in June 1989 there were 261 political parties had applied for the registration, and in 1996 there were 574 political party which were registered, and in 1998 the number of the political parties went up to 657. So and now the commission is insisting that any applicant party must have at least 100 such registered elector as its member. The applicant party has also to produce certified extract from the electoral roll of the parliamentary or assembly constituency in which the name of its member are enrolled as elector, and an attested true copy of the electoral identity card issued to an elector under the authority of the Election Commission of India is also accepted as evidence of the person concerned being a registered elector. So as of now, the minimum strength required for a association or body of individual is 100. They have to submit individual affidavit with the party's application making a declaration that they are not member of any other political party. The president or the secretary of the applicant party is also required to furnish another affidavit to the effect that none of the person who are claimed to be its member are member of any other political party. If anyone produce defective affidavit, it can be a ground for refusing registration of the association or society. So regarding the processing fee, in addition to that, there should be a minimum member to register a political party. The Election Commission has now fixed under its own inherent power under Article 324 a processing fee of rupees 10,000 in respect of every application for registration, so as to partly cover the administrative expenditure in scrutinizing and processing the application, and also to partly meet the expenditure involved in the correspondence with the party both before and after the registration. So now the question comes, what shall be the time limit for making application? So as per section 29A sub clause 2, uh, subclause 2 says the application if shall be made by the association of the body within 30 days if it is a new one, and if the application is made by the already political party which is in existence, uh, it has to submit the application within 60 days. So there are two time limit: the 30 days for the new party to be registered with the Election Commission of India. For the already political party which is already in existence, they have to submit application within 60 days. Although there was a debate that this statutory law is not saying about the extension of the time for making the application by Election Commission of India, but finally it was let down by the Allahabad High Court in Radhe Sam Mishra versus Election Commission of India in 2008, that the time limit of 30 days is only discretionary, not mandatory, and delay may be condoned by Election Commission of India for sufficient reason. Accordingly, the Election Commission is now entertaining application even beyond the period of 30 days if the delay is properly explained. So, yes, regarding the particulars to be furnished in the application, it is mentioned under section 29A subclause 4 that such application shall contain the provisions which are mandatory, that is the name of the association or the body, the state in which its head office is situated, the address to which the letter and other communication meant can be made, the names of its president, secretary, treasurer, and other office bearer, the numerical strength of its member, and if there are categories of its member, the numerical strength in each category, whether it has any local unit or the branches, so what are the level of those branches, and further whether it is represented by any member in either house of parliament or any state legislature, if so the number of such members, or so these are the mandatory provision to be mentioned with the application. In addition, the application shall be accompanied by a copy of memorandum or rules and regulation of the applicant party, and such memorandum or rules and regulations shall contain a specific provision that the association or body shall bear true faith and allegiance to Constitution of India as by law established, and the principle of socialism, secularism, and democracy, and would uphold the sovereignty, unity, and integrity of India as mentioned in section 29A subclause 5. This provision is in the nature of an undertaking by the applicant party to respect the Constitution of India and to adhere to the fundamental principles which are enshrined therein. Unless provisions conforming to the above means the section 29A subclause 5 are made in the memorandum, rules and regulation, the Election Commission shall not register it as under section 29A subclause 7. So meaning thereby there are some additional particulars to be furnished with the application. So what are those particular additional particulars to be furnished, that which were decided in 1992 by the order, namely registration of political parties, furnishing of additional particulars, order 1992. Under this order, every applicant party has to furnish the following additional particulars which are mentioned under section 29A subclause 6, that the political principles on which the political party is based. Number 2, the political aims and objects is pursue or seeks to pursue. Number 3, the programs, function and activities of the political parties for the purpose of carrying out its political principles, policies, etc. The name of its main organs, their function, and the name of the chairperson and other member of such organs. The relationship of political parties with the elector and its popular supporters. So these are the additional particulars to be mentioned in the application by the applicant party. So regarding the manner of making the application as mentioned under section 29A subclause 3, every application shall be signed by the chief executive officer of the association or the body and presented to the secretary to the commission, or it can be sent to the secretary by register post. So it is not required. It is has to be submitted personally. It is not required. It can be sent by the post or it can be produced personally. So now regarding the how the application shall be scrutinized and shall be disposed of. So during the scrutiny of any application for the registration, the election commission lays particular stress on the four aspects, namely number 1 of the name of the applicant party. It should not closely resemble with the name of an already registered party. Number 2, that a specific provision is contained in the memorandum or rules and regulation as required under section 29A subclause 5, which says that the application shall be accompanied by a copy of the memorandum or rules and regulation, and it shall bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India and to the principles of secularism, socialism and democracy. It should be there, and they would uphold the sovereignty, unity and integrity in India. So it is very much they should be mentioned there. It can be rejected if these things are not there at the time of scrutiny. It can be rejected. So number 3, that in order to give effect to the undertaking, means this should be a kind of undertaking. It should be produced along with the application, and the party has provided that this also has been looked by the election commission, that the party has provided for inner parties democracy in its functioning, that it has not conferred any overriding power in any office bearer in the internal conduct of its affair, and that its various organizational bodies at different level are basically constituted by periodic election in which the primary member of the party have an effective say. And the last, that the membership of the party is open to all adult citizens of India and not confined to member of any particular caste or community or religion. So these are the things which can be looked by the Election Commission of India during this scrutiny and disposal of the application. Although regarding that the name regarding the name of the party, it is said that in order to avoid any confusion in the minds of the general public and electors in particular on the ground of similarity between the names of the different parties, the Election Commission insists that the name of the applicant party should not closely resemble with the name of an already registered political parties. It is necessary to look into that. And Yes, personal hearing to representative of the applicant party, that is section 29A subclause 7. It says that after considering all the particulars, as I have already discussed, that all that application is having all the particulars which is mandatory and additional, that in that way the any other necessary and the relevant factor, and after giving the reasonable opportunity to the representative of the association, the commission shall decide either to register the association as a political party or not to register, and the commission shall communicate its decision to the association or body. So, as per section 29A, subclause 7, that reasonable opportunity shall be given to the representative of the political parties at the time of uh, uh, at the time of scrutiny, or if any objection is found. So, opportunity of being heard shall be given. Uh, After that, election commission will decide that whether the association be registered or not, and it shall be communicate accordingly. So we can say, if on the scrutiny of the application of a party for registration any defect are notified therein, the application is not rejected, but the party is given due opportunity of the rectifying the same. So yes, it is also very much required under section 29A, subclause 9, that if any changes has been made in a registered political party, it is the duty of the office bearer of the political party to inform the election commission. Means, if there is a change in the office bearer or the address or its head office, etc., they have to inform the election commission of India with the changes. So yes, now the question comes whether the political party can be deregistered. Whether the registered political party can be deregistered. So, as such, there is no express provision are made in the RP Act 1951 for deregistration of a political party under section 29A, but the question arose several times, and for the first time it arose in 1992, whether despite the absence of such express provision it could deregister a party after it had been duly registered under section 29A. uh, Commission of this Election Commission of India uh, made the provision and hold that it had the power to deregister a party in the following circumstances, although not under Article 324 or not under the General Clause Act, but it has that it. It's decided that a registered party can be deregistered on the following circumstances: that if a party if the commission finds that that the registration was secured by the political party by using fraudulent means, or the party intimate that it has ceased to function, or it itself intimate that it has changed its constitution and it would not function in accordance with the provision of section 29A subclause 5, or the party is declared unlawful by the central government under the provision of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967, or any like ground where no inquiry is called for on the part of the commission. So on this ground, Election Commission of India can deregister the party which is already registered. So Yes, now regarding the funds to political parties, it says under, before moving this, one thing I would like to say that there is a significant development regarding the registration of the political party. The election commission has, however, now taken the view that the political party which have not contested any election after registration during the last 10 years will be seen to have ceased to function and will be deregistered. Giving effect to this view, the Commission has removed the names of about 200 parties from its register, which were found to have remained dormant for several years after their registration, after due notice to them. So, and here I would like to mention some some cases where the some political party had not conducted their internal or the inner organizational meetings. So for 20 years, for 10 years, and the notice has been issued by the Election Commission of India that if they fail to restructure or to fail to meet with the organizational uh, changes or the meeting or the election, then they will not communicate with those political party, and those political party may deregister. So so by giving this notice, the political party which were not organizing their organizational meeting and all, they conducted, although some political parties were deregistered because they failed to organizational meeting and all. So now coming to the funds to political parties. So political parties, here I would like to say that political parties need fund for meeting their, to meet their expenses on the running of their day-to-day affairs and also for carrying out their election campaigns. These funds are raised by them by subscription from their own members and also by receiving political donation from the corporate bodies and individual. So an act was and section, that is section 29B, was inserted in this act in 2003, that political parties are entitled to accept contribution. So it is said that every political party may accept any amount of contribution voluntary offered to it by any person or company other than a government company. And section 29 C is also inserted in 2003, that the declaration of donation received by the political party or the transparency of the account, that the treasurer of a political party or any other person who is authorized by the political party shall prepare a report in the respect of the contribution in excess of the 20,000 rupees which is received by such political party from any person in financial year, and it will also report by the treasurer that the contribution in excess of 20,000 rupees received by such political party from the companies other than the government companies in that financial year. And it is also mentioned that the contribution above the 20,000 rupees shall be taken by check or by draft, not in cash. So this is all about the registration of political party, in which I have discussed. Before the independence of India, there was no concept of the registration of political party, although there was the existence of the political party was inevitable, and even after the independence, constitution was silent, no law was there. For the first time in 1985, the existence of the political party was considered, although in in 1968, by the symbol order, the political parties were registered, but in 1989, amendment was made in RP Act 1951, where it was made mandatory to register all the political parties with the Election Commission of India. So, and time frame has been made, and after that it was made that how the political party shall register, what are the requirement, what are the particular they have to produce, and what shall be the uh, strength, processing fees, and what particular things they have to mention mandatorily and all, and how the funding shall be made to the political parties, and to maintain the transparency of the account, the duty of the treasurer. So with this I am closing my lecture on registration of political parties. The next topic will be the recognition of political parties. Thank you for watching me and listening me. Bye bye.